What is going on, people? Welcome back to another episode, and today we're talking about emotional boundaries and what you can do to build these up so other people's BS doesn't affect you. As always, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification button as we release videos like this every single day. Without further ado, let's jump straight into it. Emotional boundaries are the limits which we set for ourselves when dealing with other people's behaviour. They protect us from taking responsibility for other people's problems. It also protects us from being caught up or manipulated by the drama of other people's emotions. I want you to think about emotional boundaries like physical boundaries. If someone wants to get into your personal space or get really close to you, you draw that boundary and let them know you're feeling uncomfortable or that they shouldn't do that. Emotional boundaries are very similar, but we're more unaware of them because we feel emotions. With physical boundaries, we actually see what's going on in front of us and we'll put a stop to it there and then. Emotions requires a bit more work. Method 1. Recognize when your emotional boundaries are weak. Now, this is different for all of us, but you need to recognize where you're emotionally affected when it comes to other people's behavior. So for example, let's say you have a moody friend who always puts you in a bad mood when you hang around them, or you have a boss at work who's always trying to put you down and thus affecting your emotions. Another example is a friend where they always seem to be caught up in drama and you're the person they always express it to when they go for another episode. Or a more common example is when a stranger gives you a bad look or a cashier is rude to you at the shop. In all of these examples, you probably feel some form of distress. You need to find out what areas you get affected in the most and then move on to the second step. Method 2 is to set limits. Now, this one is simple. You need to ask yourself what kind of behavior and emotions you're willing to put up with from other people. Decide how far they're able to go before you put your foot down and draw that boundary and say it's not acceptable, I'm not taking that. Now, just a heads up, we're not saying be a twat about the whole thing, but what we are saying is how much of other people's BS are you willing to put up with before you draw that boundary. Method 3. Don't be the emotional superhero who rescues everyone from their problems. This is a more subtle problem, but if you notice that you're always stepping in to make others feel better when they're distressed, then you might be an emotional superhero who likes to rescue people. Now, just to be clear, it's absolutely fine to support your friends, family and loved ones in times of distress. Don't be selfish. However, if you're noticing you're always pandering to other people's negative emotions, especially strangers or those who you barely know, and it affects you, then you need to put a stop to that right now. Do not take responsibility for other people's emotions and let it affect you. That is a pathway straight to hell and you're going to drain yourself out. If you're dealing with someone you do care about, comfort them, support them. But on the other hand, if you notice that the same problem keeps reoccurring, maybe it's an issue that they need to deal with themselves. Method 4. Be assertive and say no. This one is simple. If you encounter any BS behavior from anyone which you consider to be emotionally distressing to you, put a stop to it there and then. The more you drag this out, the more you'll be affected and the more drama it will cause you. When you put a stop to this behavior, people will stop directing that behavior towards you and know they can't push your boundaries. And number 5, stop seeking positive reactions from people. If you've watched any of our other videos, then you know I always say stop trying to come across well to everyone and gain positive reactions. You can't control everyone. You're going to get positive, negative, neutral reactions as everyone has different values, beliefs and behaviours. So don't waste your time pandering to everyone because you're going to wear yourself out. And again, just to make it clear, you should always help people and be empathetic towards them. Don't be a selfish dick who doesn't care about anyone and then says, oh look, I got emotional boundaries. In summary, what we're saying is if someone is causing you negative distress and emotions in their behaviour, then you need to put a stop to it there and then. They'll respect you and they'll think twice about engaging in this behaviour going forward. Now, if you want more help in this area, then download our assertive worksheet below, which is going to show you how to stand up for yourself, say no and be more assertive in different situations. I recommend you check that out as it's helped a lot of people, and personally I do think all of us need to work on our assertiveness from time to time just to keep it up to date and fresh. As always, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe as we got more videos like this coming out every single day. I'll catch you in the next one. Have a good one. Peace.